Aries, how you doing? I'm here with your astrology and oracle message for April 2021. I hope that it provides some assistance. Not sure how it's going to be translated until I get into it. So I hope you stay around to figure it out. So that's my little quick speech. I won't hold up a lot of time. So let's go ahead and get into the Aries. So Aries, what came out for your astrology is the solar eclipse. Really getting into it, and on first glance, without really thinking, when it popped out, it reflected back to me, meaning that the solar eclipse, far as the sun and the planet that's helping create the eclipse, is having a private moment, right? And it's like the back of that planet is turned towards Earth. So it's like, I don't know, maybe it could relate to the Valley of the Shadow of Death. In Psalms, as it continue to go on, and it speaks about, I know some people going to stray away just because I didn't stop the rest of the people, or because I kept moving forward and my back was turned against you, or whatever way you want to interpret from Psalms. Doesn't mean that I'm not paying things no attention. And that's kind of the feeling that I'm getting from the solar eclipse, because it's still the fact, if you glance at the image when I showed it, right, or even up here, you could see this ring, right? So there's something that's still watching. It's not the whole proportionate of it, but part of it is still seeing what's going on, okay? Now, and it's going in a multi-type verse way, meaning that it really have a lot of path lines. So I can't say it's either or none. I mean, could all the path lines make a difference? Because the sun comes in with rays, and it's kind of funny because Aries, you're a fire sign, right? So there's a lot of rays that's going on, and there's pathways, there's situations, but it is not until you get on that path what you're going to find out. And that's kind of like the eclipse part that's there. You have some kind of inclination of the direction you want to go in, but the experience in that direction turns into the pathway. So it's like with the oracle card, now this makes sense. It says you can't go back to yesterday. So after explaining that, now I understand why the oracle came up about you can't go back to yesterday, because it's more or less, I feel, after that transitioning period, right, when that eclipse is over, yesterday is really done. But yesterday might seem like the same day. It might not feel like yesterday yet for you. So when it comes obvious, it can prompt that regret, maybe remorse, maybe, regret in a sense, dang, I wish I would have did this more, shoulda, coulda, woulda, remorse, and, still some shoulda, coulda, wouldas. It could prompt just a real analyzation type of period. When it comes to it, it just depends. It could just have a developmental stage, and within the developmental stage, you are experiencing some knowledge, and this knowledge that you experience is growing to make a significant meaning for you or your surroundings. It depends on how great, it depends on the pathway you got down on when it comes to this, right? So the tarot cards that came out was the Sun. But, you know, in the transition of when this one kind of fell out, it actually took this one too, though. I'm not going to lie. When the Queen of Cups came out after the Sun, right? It was a feeling that it made me think, like, hold up. We actually still in Aries season. Aries season is not over yet. So, okay. It's a basic thing of the Sun. But it's also like that with the Queen of Cups is also, you know, the next thing that prompted up when I'm telling you about these path lines because things was popping up. The Queen of Cups also brought a fact of it will create smudge. It could create smog. The two elements put together could do smog and fog and smoke and dusty and darkness. It could make an eclipse happen within and not without, with these two elements. So and then what kind of leads more to is the fact that the Seven of Pentacles follows behind it. And that's what happened when you know, some people say the Seven of Pentacles is all about a harvest, right? Looking at your return. So it's like, yo, you didn't mix these elements together. Now this is what's coming out of it. This is what's happening. And you gotta think with the solar eclipse in this card for astrology, it means revolution, right? So it just might be a nice dial turning that's going on. You know, it could be is symbolic meaning with the Queen of Cups and the Seven of Pentacles. Instead of it being a major Wheel of a Fortune moment, the fortune is within inside of the Sun, right? And is more of this harvest that's there. This harvest that soon is going to appear once your vision feels comfortable to yourself, you know? Because right after it seemed like it's a choice between Lovers and the Death card. Meaning both of them is coming with a new beginning. So the choice is not in the new beginning. The choice is in the pathway of it. It could definitely be all about a lesson learned. Because Sun is very powerful. It's very intense. Now, I mean, it comes with power. So it could be definitely a lesson in power for this month. And you know, you might feel like you're not a power person or you're not this, and it might not be that you is or you not. It's just when I'm combining this on an astrological or oracle, it's just letting you know, well, hey, you resonate with Aries some kind of way. Are you having these vibrational fluxes where you need to just check it out a little bit? Because there's so many path lines in this reading. But power is something that is definitely need to be there. And this is definitely seem like, I mean, it need to be there in a way from where your deepest imagination could be to hopefully your simplest imagination could be. You know, you need to have it on the scale of power, you know. But the expectations in that lesson in the experience that you're going through or about to go through. Okay? So I'm about to shuffle a deck. Alright, so you about to hear me shuffle on the camera. And this deck, what I'm doing is shuffling this deck because I'm going to get 2 cards, one from the top and one from the bottom. One to try to get a clarification on your inner energy and your outer energy. The energy you might be conscious of, the energy you might not be conscious of. So I don't know which way the card is going to fold for me to answer one of those 2, right? But that's the whole plan and intentions inside of it. So let's find out, okay? And then I'm going to shuffle another deck and clarify those 2 cards, okay? So here we go. Can I get a clarifier for the 5 of Swords, please? Just one, please. One clarifying card for the 5 of Swords. I have one clarifying card and for the 10 of Pentacles, please. One clarifying card for the 10 of Pentacles. I don't know if anybody can hear it in this recording. I probably will find out, but afterwards. But my window is open. It's a beautiful day. And the kids is outside playing. If you kind of hear the noise, I'm not sure if you're able to or not. I know I hear it. I'm just not sure if y'all hear it. Okay, about the clarification of the 10 of Pentacles. Clarification for the 10 of Pentacles. One card, please. So, the Magician didn't completely come out upside down. So the 5 of Swords is what came out, and we had a Magician counting this angle, which I can relate because you're talking about there's only really 2 elements. So, if you're familiar with tarot, and as I was doing this reading, if you thought about why the Magician card didn't come up, well, there it goes for you. And it's just a fact, once again, even the Wheel of Fortune even comprised of all 4 of the elements being essential. And really right now, those all 4 of the elements is not here, right? Per se, yeah. You can say that they are, if you want to do the Cups, the Pentacles, the Lovers as Gemini, and then including yourself as Aries. But then, where did the Magician come in at? So, and then to be the person embodying, you already comprised of 4 elements. So, are you just saying that you're sacrificing yourself? So make sure, and I think that's the 5 of Swords feeling of having the proper contingent thoughts in the matter. That can be your weakness and your strength at the same time. It depends on how you accept conversation, criticism, help, all of those type of different words to describe assistance in some type of form of area. that really determines what you, and that's where that Five of Swords is at. And that's something that you're going to be conscious of. That's going to be your Hail Mary in it all, is your conscientiousness. And basically, okay. So, on the shadow side of it, right, we have the Ten of Pentacles, but it actually came out with the Empress in reverse. So, it's almost like your shadow side is the part that can it accept responsibility that you self-sabotage yourself? Are you really able to do that? Really able to do that. It's a difference in sitting here saying, you know, they showed me their true colors. I did what I did. And, you know, that's a surface type part of it, right? That's probably why the Empress is there in reverse, you know. That's the surface type part of it. Easy and very common excuse to create when it comes to responsibility. I just know now to deal with them. I just know. But the whole thing is, maybe it's a characteristics of the person. Meaning, maybe you are attracting this one characteristic because you haven't really understood the responsibility in it, which is accept the fact you are attracting these characteristics. Now, being that power might be that one thing. First of all, there's power right there. But who has that power? Why? Who really is in control of it? So when you come out and you say, I learned my lesson, they show me their true colors, it is what it is, I'm going to check it up and I'm going to go. Okay. You learned one lesson that only pertains to this one person. But how many lessons in the same situation would it take before you realize there's something about you? And maybe that's when the regret and remorse could come in, right? Because then once you get there, you're going to have that regret and remorse because you maybe could have capitalized on the situation a lot better, especially with the Ten of Pentacles. And that's why the self-sabotaging is there, because you lack kind of like the understanding of yourself because you are already so sure of yourself. So, that's, you know, the way that the message fell. Hope that it helped you out through the month. You know, good luck to you, and talk to y'all later.